All right, so today we're going to talk about mobility. Now, a lot of people confuse mobility and flexibility. I'm going to do a quick differentiation. Flexibility is your total range of motion. If I actively take myself into a position, that's mobility. So this is mobility. Holding a bar or a pole and stepping into it is flexibility. Well, flexibility is great. If we don't have a corresponding level of mobility, we put ourselves at risk of injury. And when we're talking about skiing or any sport, that becomes an issue. So ideally, the closer our mobility is to our flexibility level, the safer we are because we can control that range of motion. Now, I'm going to go through 3 exercises that are great for skiing, and we're going to walk through them. Now, you can do mobility and flexibility at every joint in the body, but the core, the hips, and that rotational ability is something that's really important in skiing, so that's what we're going to dive into today. So the first one here, to test your rotational ability and work on the mobility through that pattern, is just cross your arms over your chest, stand up tall in good posture, brace your core, and we're going to keep our hips pretty stable and turn the chest to one side. Come back to the middle. Turn the chest to the other side. Notice whether one side was easier than the other. If you can rotate further on one side than the other, it's pretty common. If you are someone who golfs and you always rotate, I'm a lefty, so when I rotate towards the right, that's my natural way. If I rotate towards the left, it feels more awkward, it's more restricted in general. So if we know that, think of skiing. If you're skiing down and you're turning your hips, if you don't turn well one way, that's going to limit your ability to turn when you're on the slopes. So by practicing that in training, you can make a big difference. So stand here, up tall, rotate one way, rotate the other. Watch the mirror if you need to, so you can see if the hips turn. A lot of people do this, and their hips and their ankles and their knees are all turning. Can we keep our lower body stable and rotate the upper body? That's the important thing to practice. Practice doing it well, and you'll notice you get better quickly. Next one I'm going to show you is what we call I call it the fetal arm circle, or side lying arm circle. All right, so now that we're down on the ground, we're in our what we call the fetal position. You don't have to put your hand under your head. What I usually do is put my bottom arm holding my knees, and we're going to keep them on the ground. Take the top arm, touch it to the ground, and you're going to draw a circle as big as you can around your body, keeping your knees on the ground and keeping your hand touching the ground. So this rotates our body. We get a hip stretch here while we're using the core to turn. It's actually really good for shoulder mobility as well. So when we get to here, just reverse it, bring it back, and then back again. Try and keep those fingertips touching the ground the whole time. Once you've done that side, flip over and do the other side. Again, you'll notice the difference from one side to the other. Practice it, work on it. All right, next one we're going to do is called hip flow, 90-90 hip flow. So I'm going to bend my knees to about 90 degrees, flex my toes back, sit up in good posture, and from here, I'm going to turn, bring both knees to the ground, and across, and back again, maintaining the posture. Tendencies to round your back, stay up tall, both knees to the ground, keeping that 90-degree position. Really good for hip mobility, core and posture, as well as your breathing. Try it out. Let me know what you think.